Hello, this is IamFat32 here once again with a computer video for y'all. Now, it's been a while since I've made videos regularly, but I'm making another one. I don't know if I'll continue to do them regularly, but here's one. So anyway, in this video, we're going to be building the ultimate 2004 era gaming machine. We're going to be using the ECS K8 M800 M2 version 1. Now, these boards are not hard to find, never mind, they are hard to find, but they do come stock in these Lenovo J105s, and you can reflash them with the ECS BIOS, which is what I've done to the board in this computer. This one is just another stock board that I pillaged out of one that had a dead power supply. But it's a spare, so it's here nonetheless. The case we're using is this in-win mid-tower case. And originally it had a Core 2 Duo board, Intel desktop board by the way, rebranded as a Titan Systems, never heard of them. Optical driver using is just this IDE DVD RAM drive, rewriter. Originally had XP Pro on it, but this box is going to be running Windows 2000 because I already have enough computers with XP on them. So here's inside the case. This is the ECS K8 M803. Now, a while back, I did a video on this board when I booted this board off the stock Lenovo BIOS, and then I hot swapped the chip with one from a dead motherboard and then flashed on the ECS BIOS, and it worked flawlessly. So that was pretty good. Got this 140mm fan here in the back, so it's nice and quiet, even though the one thing I don't like about these boards is the CPU fan runs at full speed no matter what. And no CPU fan software speed controller works, so whatever, I guess. Now, more details on the board. It's got 3 PCI slots, an AGP8X slot for the graphics card, which I'll show you in a minute, 2 DDR400 slots, that's just DDR1 RAM. It's got, of course, 2 IDE ports for the controllers, a floppy controller. My phone get going off again. It's got SATA on it, but I probably won't end up using that. Of course, onboard USB, which is plugged into the front panel. Let's see what else. Yeah, of course, on the back you've just got PS2 keyboard, mouse, parallel, serial, VGA, 4 USB ports, 10100 Ethernet, and of course the AC97 Realtek sound. I might upgrade the sound in this, but for now I'm just going to leave it alone because it works fine. Now, the one thing about these boards, if you get it from a Lenovo system, you have to keep the stock front panel connectors or the onboard sound will not function at all. So you have to have these plugged in, and even if you leave them tucked inside the case somewhere, which is what I'm going to end up doing, that's all you need to do to make the sound work. Guess how I figured that out. And for the power supply, yeah. Yes, this is a Bestech power supply. Yes, they are the crappiest power supply on the planet. But this particular one doesn't seem to be built too badly, and it's actually pretty hefty. And I looked inside, there's no bulging caps or anything, and it seems to be in perfect working order, so I'm going to go ahead and put it back into service, even though it's probably not the best choice, because I have it, it's free, and it works. This particular one is rated at 250 watts, however I would not push it that far, considering the maker. Now, the graphics card we're using is this. This is an NVIDIA FX 5200 based card produced by ASUS, model number V9520-XTD128MA. Has 128 megabytes of video memory, and it's good enough. I mean, it's not the best card out there, but for something that's going to be running Windows 2000, and it's kind of based on parts from the 2004-2005 era, it's good enough. I mean, it's all I have, so. that's what will be going in here. Now as for hard drive and RAM, I have not decided yet, but I'm either going to go with a gigabyte of RAM with two 512 meg sticks, or I'm going to go with 2 gigs of RAM with two 1 gig sticks, but considering it's Windows 2000, I probably won't end up doing that. Now, this case, the only problem I have with this case is the mounting. There is no mounting brackets included with this case because the Titan or whatever who built this system originally did not put it in the case when they built the system. They just built it. The only mounting brackets that are left in there are the ones that came with the optical drive that is in it. So you can mount an optical drive, but you can only screw it in on the back. But if you want to put a 3.5 inch floppy or card reader or something, yeah, you're absolutely screwed. There's no way you can mount it. However, you can mount a hard drive with the conventional screws. You just unscrew this and this cage slides right out, which is convenient. Of course, this case could take a full-size ATX board, but this is a micro ATX and it will do just fine. Or mini ATX, micro ATX, I don't know. I forget. So, I will start putting this together and I'll be right back. As far as hard drives go, I'm going to be using this 80 gigabyte Seagate Barracuda drive. Of course, just regular parallel ATA. Of course, it would help if I showed you the side of the drive that had the connector on it. Or IDE. Or Ultra ATA, whatever you want to call it. And the way this works, this little caddy here, just slide it in, and then you screw it. There, I'll screw it good and tight. Yeah, look at that. Now, I have put a gigabyte of DDR400 RAM in there. As you can see, I've got the computer mostly assembled. There is the graphics card in its slot. Poking out the back there, VGA, composite video and DVI outputs. I'll probably use the VGA. Let's see what else. I dusted it a bit, not really. Could do a better job, but whatever. Another pro tip, dryer sheets make your computer smell pretty. So if you're storing a computer, just go ahead and stick a couple of dryer sheets in there. I gotta just connect some more stuff up here and then we'll start to install Windows. I might make a few hardware changes, and if I do, I'll be sure to update you. And another thing, I have no idea how to use the new YouTube because it's changed so much since I left. So if I don't respond to your comments or whatever, don't be offended. It's just I don't know how to use it, and I'm not even sure if personal messages exist anymore. So I don't know. Anyway, I will be back in a bit. And now for the first boot. Got an AMD Athlon 64 3200 Plus, clocked at 2.2 gigahertz. It is a socket 754, so it's certainly not the best Athlon 64 produced, but for late 2003, early 2004, it was pretty good, considering it was a 64-bit processor and the Intel Pentium 4 did not offer that, as far as I know. Alright, so we'll start up and I'll go into the BIOS here. Make sure it's delete. Yep. That looks like it kept the time as of making this video. I have 1 GB of RAM. It's detecting a non-existent floppy drive. Now I wanted to put a floppy drive in this, but there's no way to mount it without the mounting rails that didn't come with this case. So there's no floppy drive in it, even though all real computers have a floppy drive. This one, I guess, is the exception. It's detecting my graphics card. There's that Seagate drive. currently 20 degrees. Apparently the CPU is at 0 degrees. I don't know how that's possible. That temperature did work last time I used this motherboard. Guess not now. And there's that fan that's running at full blast. That's pretty freaking annoying. So that's fancy. Alright. I don't know why that doesn't work. I will be back in a second. Attempt 2, I got the CD-ROM drive working. DVD, or W drive I mean. And it's just doing the memory count now. This is a good look at the BIOS in case everyone's wondering. Nothing special, just usual award BIOS. And this memory test takes 153 years, so that's pretty good. There we go. Windows 2000. I will be back when this is all installed. Alright, I'm back with the Windows 2000 gaming computer build, which isn't really a gaming computer, but anyway, we're going to put an official Service Pack 5 on it, which is one of the reasons I wanted to put Windows 2000 on it, is to experiment with it. So let's do that. What's this? Oh, it's just... Alright, let's run this setup. Sorry about the shaky camera. We are very unprofessional here at IamFat32 Incorporated. Okay. Next. Agree. Next. Okay. This could be a while, so I will be back once it is installed.